Delhi Capitals had an IPL 2025 which began so promisingly, but they eventually missed out on the playoffs. Who are the players they're going to hold back to going into the IPL 2026 auction? Let's put that question to the chatter crew. Nagraj, you know the drill by now. Get us started.
Yeah, I think the two openers, JFM plus Faf, definitely. Um, and then followed by they also have a good purse in the form of Harry Brook, who, if you remember, didn't come out. He did, while they replaced him with Sadiqullah Atal, I don't think
Mm.
they've gone better. He's going to be back. So that's for sure. The big question for them, from what I hear, is whether to keep T. Natarajan or release him. Because if I think he only played one match last season,
Yeah.
and for the price that 10.75, do they release him and buy him? Think of buying him back? That's what they're looking at. But again, with all the if you just add up the money and it comes up that they can go for just one player, which I guess I'll allow you to guess which that one player can be. Delhi can definitely go for an overseas name.
Born of
Dustin,
saying his
go.
name now, yeah.
Is
I'm
it a
born of
name
saying
we've
his
not
name.
used at
No, no,
all in
I'm going to
The
give you
name we
some
will not
names.
use.
Yeah. No, actually, I think that Faf and JFM releasing them makes sense. JFM, even after the IPL, he had a decent run in MLC, but then since then
yeah.
he's not done much in the One Day Cup. And there are a bunch of openers is one section, overseas openers, where I feel like you will get value in the auction. You'll have the likes of Matthew Short, Ben Duckett, Banton, Finn Allen. Pathum Nisanka and Shai Hope are two guys who have been doing really well in international cricket, don't have IPL contracts. So I think Delhi will be able to get one of these guys as opener. Faf, I think his main problem last season was just the inability to hit spin on slow tracks. He had a strike rate of 115 against spin. He's actually had a great MLC, but that he usually tends to do, and that doesn't necessarily translate into IPL success. On Natarajan, I guess the question is about Natarajan's fitness. He did have a pretty good TNPL. I was just
Yes.
looking at his
Yeah.
numbers. He had an economy rate of some 6.7 in the TNPL.
9
But then
games.
he's chosen, yeah, and he's chosen not to play red ball cricket. So we won't actually have a good idea of his fitness until India's domestic white ball season starts, which unfortunately will be too late for Delhi to
Yeah.
base their decision off that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
yeah, please, Yash.
go on.
No, carry on.
No, there are a couple of other domestic seam bowlers who, even if they do think Natarajan, if we want to hold back to him, Mukesh Kumar was 8 crore, had a decent season. There's also Mohit Sharma, who might have been lesser money, but he took only 2 wickets in 8 games.
Yeah, so I think I actually think this is Delhi have to remember how they did so much right and how it was inexplicable that they couldn't secure a top four spot with the start they had. So it's not like there's a lot that this team needs to do, in my opinion. I think if they just trust some of their players more in certain roles. Like they didn't seem to figure out what to do once they decided that Karun Nair was going to be in the 11. Samir Rizvi went out. Samir Rizvi finished IPL with a very impressive half century against Punjab, which was of course the eventual runners up. So there are you have to identify players that you can learn from last year that you can use in different roles this year and actually improve your squad from the resources you have. I think that should be Delhi's motto. They don't need to go to the auction to get the showstopper of the auction. They have a lot of things which are pretty set. They will need an opener. Dustin's made an excellent point about how you can actually get openers. Who knows if KL Rahul wants to open this year? It's a call that they can make, and I think it'll be a good call if they make it because KL Rahul can easily work up if they have to accommodate more specialist middle order and middle order Indian batters. The Natarajan one, I was very impressively attacked by Dustin and Nagraj about the exclusivity of Shimron Hetmyer, the left-hand batter, as a left-hander finisher, which is so rare. Well, I'll tell you what's more rare than a left-hander finisher as a batter. It's a left-arm seam Indian bowler who can you can use as a banker at the death. It didn't happen last year, so I'll use the same logic. You don't go by what happened last year. If Natarajan is fit and firing, he is number one ahead of Mukesh Kumar, ahead of Mohit Sharma, ahead of everybody else. So if Natarajan, you're going to hope he gives you what you paid for. And if you can have Stark and Natarajan bowl together, wow, a fully fit Natarajan that is. So I don't see Natarajan going anywhere. At least that's my logic, but I could completely be proven to be an idiot.
But we are not rolling our eyes
It's
saying
amazing.
Natarajan should
but this-
not be released.
It's
We never said
amazing
that.
how
I agree with this point.
Oh, listen, but going back to Yash, your point about the two India fast bowlers, I think
Yeah.
Mukesh Kumar will be retained. Mohit, I doubt I think he'll be dropped. So yeah, and Ronak has made he
One,
succinctly put it that he summarized it very nicely. DC actually don't need to kind of go, but
Yeah.
DC actually, I mean, to be honest,
do you,
the name that we
yeah,
will not take, DC actually, if they're wise, they should go for that one name because they do need one overseas in the lower order. They have Donovan Ferreira, but he's not like
Hmm.
you won't call him compared to this. Now, the question for all teams is going to be whether uh, this guy can bowl. Mr. Green, let's just name him. Whether Green, this is
yeah,
the question
thank you.
everyone keeps asking. Is Green
Yeah.
going to be fit
I
for
mean, he's
bowling?
not Voldemort.
So, so yeah, I guess, but yeah, they are also another team that who will look for him. So yeah, clearly
I mean,
not
I'll
too
just
many difficult
But
challenges for him.
they have Tristan Stubbs, Naga, as a
correct.
lower order
So
overseas
Yeah,
player.
so
I
that
think
is
they
And
will
why
need to find one for the top order
the thing with
once they
Cameron
release.
Green is he fits anywhere, right? You
Yeah.
can put him
Yeah,
anywhere and he will improve any team he goes to. But
yeah.
given that a lot of teams might want that specialist overseas all-rounder to be that middle order player, Delhi have that benefit of having Stubbs, like Dustin says, having Ashutosh Sharma and Vipraj Nigam. These are all rare kind of skill sets that Delhi have
Yeah.
accumulated together. They did a lot of things right. So they need to go and get someone at the top who can be their their sort of who they can build their batting around. And that's that I just think this is a good team. All, if you notice, one the sign of a good team at an auction is all your expensive players, which are 10 plus 8 plus, they are all likely to be first 11 players, and they're likely to give you a specialized role. So when you have Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, for that matter, even Natarajan if he's fit, Mitchell Stark, all your high price players are actually players that are going to play every game. So for me, that's a great thing Delhi did last year, and they don't need to overthink
But
it.
but trust me, I mean, all of us we have not used the word trade, but there was one potential
That,
trade that was in the works. I know, yeah, you were coming. Go on, ask.
yeah, no, I mean, go on. My final question was that were there any involvements, were there any murmurs from the trade market, and whether that could tell us something about which direction Delhi could be looking at?
Very good
I mean,
question.
it could have disrupted their whole thing if that trade went through. We are talking about KL Rahul potentially to KKR. So if from the knowledge that I have, that it kind of the owners got involved and also it was kind of nipped in the bud, so it didn't go through. And it was very, very interesting to note that why would DC want to release KL Rahul, and it was not DC who wanted to release KL Rahul apparently. So clearly there was something else at play here. So, but if that trade had happened, then Delhi might have
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
decided to have a rethink over their releases. So yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you could get a Russell or a Narayan for a KL Rahul, that would be a trade that you would do. And I'm guessing that that's what DC wanted, but KKR probably said no, and so
That's the
this
end of
trade
that.
stopped there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just
I
my guess.
I actually think Delhi. The one point I'd like to see is how good is their scouting in this auction, because they had that one or two those Indian players. They played Madhav Tiwari last year, who neither batted nor bowled. They were really struggling to find
Yeah.
someone to fill a piece. They were wondering if Rizvi is batting too high, Ashutosh Sharma can't be sent too high. They had a lot of people they were holding back, including Tristan Stubbs. So if they find even the Aniket Verma equivalent of their team, someone who can do a high impact role at the back of the domestic T20 leagues, I think that'll be a test for Delhi, who, like I'm saying for the third time now, have a lot of their bases already covered. So I'd like to see how they improve their Indian bench, their domestic bench.
but you also made a good point that if KL moves to open,
Yeah,
he opens, then quite a bit of their batting order gets sorted pretty
100%.
easily.
I think it
So
should. I think
yeah.
it's a no-brainer for me. KL should open next year, but anyway, that's for later.
All right. Simple yes or no to all of you. Should Delhi retain or release Natarajan? Dustin.
I'm gonna say retained, based on Rona Kapoor's excellent logic.
Which was, of course, taught to me by Dustin Salgado in the last chat. So now we're actually linking one episode to the next, like a good
Yeah,
web
all
series.
episodes have merged. We know Ronak Sport, Nagaraj. Is it 2-1 retain Natarajan or 3-0?
Maybe release. and buy him back.
Oh,
Oh, then what's the
okay.
buy him back?
Maybe release.
Oh man,
Maybe release. Yeah.
very risky to
All
buy back a player for cheaper. Very risky.
All right. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. This was Shatter.